Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, blogtalk Radio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now. WHRADIO.
Welcome to Wrestlingheads Radio. It's me, Oscar, filling in for Skip tonight. I'm not actually alone tonight. I got Mr. Tommy Boy with me. What's going on, Tom?
Not much, man. Just another Monday night, and I know we got a big show ahead of us, so let's jump right into it.
Yeah, before you start painting your face and carry a baseball bat, we got a special guest with us tonight, somebody that maybe hangs out with them one point. Well, he's in the show the first time for like a year and a half. Everybody, give it up for Mr. Pretty Peter Avalon. What's going on, Peter?
Hey guys, what's up, man? I'm doing well. Just chilling. It's a nice night here tonight in SoCal, so I'm glad to be back on the show for my second time.
Yeah, this is your second time. We had you on like a year and a half ago, so yeah, or maybe almost in 2 years. So it's been a while ago, but
time flies, man. Time flies. It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
yeah, it's crazy, right? Time does fly. Before we go have the show on the roll, for anybody that has any questions for Peter Avalon, you can always tweet us at Wrestlingheads at any time. Please be respectful, please. All right, let's start the show, shall we? So, Peter, I see this weekend, you have a busy weekend coming up. I know you have Santino's, you have AWS, and you also have the tapings for CWF Wrestling from Hollywood. But I want to talk AWS first. This weekend is the 13th anniversary of AWS, which you have a lot of history. And I believe you're the longest reigning AWS light heavyweight champion. I believe you are the longest reigning champion, if I'm not mistaken. But I just want to ask you, how do you feel that AWS has been lasting this long? And you've been a huge part of the history of it. And, I just want to know your thoughts of AWS lasting this long.
I love that AWS has lasted this long. 13 years is a long time, especially for an independent pro wrestling company. You see a bunch of them that just pop up, have a show, 2 shows, 3 shows, and then disappear into oblivion, you know? So for 13 years, for Bart to be around running shows, running joint shows, running lucha shows, it's great. He's been a big part of the SoCal wrestling scene for a long time. He's given a lot of opportunities to a lot of deserving people out here, some undeserving, but he's given a lot of opportunities to people out here to hone their craft and to make something of themselves and to have a lot of fun at the same time. So for me to be a part of them for so long as well is awesome. I love it. I love Bart and I love AWS.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, I've been going for like, I don't know how long, but it's been great. I've been enjoying it, you know. So I'm going to be there this weekend. Just enjoy the anniversary. Last year's anniversary show was pretty good. It was awesome. You know, the place was packed and all that. So anybody that's listening in the LA area or whatever, or you can drive to LA, stop by Southgate, California. Check out this show. I mean, it's going to be a great show. I mean, the card looks stacked. I mean, you guys are defending the AWS Tag Team Champions against Reno Scum, who I just saw at Ring of Honor in a dark match not long ago. I was happy to see them in Ring of Honor in that dark match, though. So I guess a decade. So it was great for them. What's your thoughts coming in against Reno Scum? Have you ever even wrestled them before?
Me and Ray have never wrestled the Reno Scum, so this is the first time for both of us. PP Ray versus the Reno Scum, first time ever anywhere. So it's going to be. I'm excited for it. They're just hell of a team. Individually, they're amazing wrestlers. Thornstowe, Luster, they're great. So I'm super excited for it. We're going to put our belt on the line, and I'm hoping. You know what? I'm not going to say hoping. I know Ray and I are going to be able to beat this team. They're big boys, but Ray and I are quick, and we know what we're doing. They know what they're doing as well, but I think we're going to be able to get them since they're coming into our home.
All right. That's good. That's good to send them a little message there. Show them some California message to those guys, you know.
Right. It's a little bit. It's a night and day performance, man. You got two sexy dudes who like to shake their hips against two hardcore punk rockers, man. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. For our listeners are not familiar with Reno Scum, they're like a couple of punk rock dudes that have mullets, yell out "oi, oi, oi," and they're like those kind of punk rocker dudes. Yeah. If anybody that's listening, just check out Reno Scum. Maybe you could find their matches on YouTube, or you could just check them out. And like I said, I saw them at Ring of Honor about a few weeks ago. You know, glad to get a chance to get in the Ring of Honor ring. So they're good dudes. Tom, before I pass it on to you, I just want to let our listeners know, anybody has a question for Peter, you can also call in at area code 357-945-5566. And I believe we also have a caller on hold. Like maybe he wants to have a question with Peter. Let's put this caller on right now. 562 area, you're live on Wrestlingheads Radio. You have a question for Mr. Peter Avalon.
Wow, Mr. Peter Avalon, so fantastically formal. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Yeah, you sound like you're doing very well. A face suited for the radio. I just want to say, want to let people know how proud I am of you and all of your accomplishments. Despite some early setbacks in your career, when you were still pretty green, you've kept with it, and a lot of us are very, very proud of you. And I just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm trying to get the voice, and I think I might have figured out who that is.
Well, I'm just calling strictly as a fan here, and I've told you many times that I have a tremendous amount of respect for Ray as well, and I think you guys are really good. And I'm wondering, we'd spoken before about maybe you guys doing some East Coast gigs. What do you think about that?
I would love to do something on the East Coast. The last time I was out there was with TNA. It was more of the South in South Carolina, but I would definitely like to head out there again, especially with my boy Ray, so we can tear it up with some of the top names out on the East and prove that West Coast and SoCal is the best in the United States.
Well, I can't disagree with that. For all of the listeners out there, maybe you could give them some workout tips. You are the biggest man in the business. You're a big man, so
right.
Maybe.
If you want to stay lean, mean, and sexy like good old PPA, just drink 8 glasses of water a day and get 8 hours of sleep, and
that is a fantastic regimen. I think that I need to follow that regimen myself.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. One day you can look as good as PPA, kids.
That's probably impossible. So, thank you very much. I won't take up any more of your time. I know you're a wrestling superstar, but I do appreciate the time, and I want to say, once again, very, very proud of all the things you've accomplished in the business. And keep up the good work, Peter.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and thanks for calling.
Hey.
Yeah.
We do.
Before you hang up, can you give out your name, because your voice sounds really, really familiar.
Oh, Peter knows who it is. I'm just a guy who bags groceries. That's all I am.
Okay. All right. All right.
It was a very exciting phone call. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Be safe.
All right. All right. I guess that was 562 there joining us. At first, Peter, I thought it was Johnny Yuma.
No way. I hope Johnny Yuma does not call. I might hang up myself.
I think that would be gold if Johnny Yuma decided to call up. You know what? Let's tweet him out so we could just have Peter.
No.
I want Peter to just own him on Wrestlingheads Radio because that would be a highlight.
If you want to see some Peter Avalon and Johnny Yuma, watch Championship Wrestling Hollywood or PWG or whatever you guys wrestle at. just get your old videos out there. You can watch that.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Tom, I'm gonna pass it on to you, bro.
Yeah, my first question I got for you, Peter. Oscar just mentioned it. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, definitely a promotion down in SoCal. It's on Matt TV, and they just recently announced they're going to be on U2 America, which means that Championship Wrestling from Hollywood will be on Time Warner and Comcast, which means I'll be able to watch it, which I'm very excited for. And, of course, this weekend you guys have some tapings down. You're going to be involved in a triple threat tag team match. You and, of course, Ray Rosas are going to be defending the Heritage Tag Team titles against Drew Gulak and Timothy Thatcher and Vermin, consisting of Joey Ryan and Ryan Taylor. Talk about that match coming up this weekend and talk about Championship Wrestling from Hollywood a little bit.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood is the best thing going on right now in Southern California. We have an incredible TV program full of incredible wrestlers, plenty of the top wrestlers from all around the country. You see Drew Gulak himself coming in to Championship Wrestling. He's a hell of a wrestler. Timothy Thatcher as well coming in, showing what he can do. It's the best thing we have going in SoCal, and it's incredible. We put on great matches every 2 weeks, and we make fantastic television. I'm excited for the match. This is the first time meeting of all these teams together. Ray Rosas and I have wrestled Tim Thatcher and Gulak twice now, and the first one was interrupted by Berman, unfortunately, but the second one just aired on KDOC, where we defended our tag team championships successfully against Gulak and Thatcher in a great match. I really enjoyed it. The fans enjoyed it. I think this triple threat tag team title match will be something that everyone will enjoy. Throw in Berman into the mix, which are despicable dudes. So you're going to have a hell of a match, I think. I'm already calling. I think it's going to be match of the night for sure.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that whatsoever. Now, I wanted to get an opinion of yours kind of on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, because nowadays you don't see too much wrestling on TV besides, of course, the mainstream stuff that's going on. But back in, the old days, the 80s and 70s, there would be multiple wrestling shows on at one time on different stations. So how hard do you think it is for a smaller company to kind of maintain being on TV as compared to, of course, the big dogs in wrestling?
I think it's definitely has its challenges, but we're doing it. We've just passed 200 episodes, which is definitely something big to do, especially in like an area like Los Angeles. It's the second biggest market in the country for TV, and we're doing it. We're pulling good numbers. People are watching us, and we're just going to be able to get our product out there even more all over the country. And people are paying the Patreon service to watch us online, and so it's great. It has its challenges, absolutely, but I think it can only go up like it has been continuously.
Yeah, I think it definitely speaks to what you guys are doing out there, that you guys can maintain being on TV for this amount of time, and you guys aren't even just getting started. I think you guys are going to continue to grow as, the years and months pass, and with a lot of people, I think, kind of demanding an alternative, they're looking for something else. Now they're getting more access to this. Now, of course, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood has been on Matt TV, but now they're expanding with U2, and I think it's just going to get more eyeballs on your product, which I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. All of our wrestlers deserve more eyes on them. We have some fantastic talent. P.P. Ray, Gulak and Thatcher, Berman, sans Johnny Yuma, of course. I hate him. Even though he is the champ, so I can respect him there. He's our champion. We got Hobo, Willie Mack, plenty of dudes, and we just keep bringing in better and better guys. We had the Mavericks, which is the team of Ryan McQueen and Marcus Lewis. They debuted recently against Leo Blaze and Cedric King in a hell of a tag team match. So we just keep bringing in more and more great talent. So it's definitely something to keep your eyes on.
Without a doubt, and I can't wait to see how Championship from Hollywood grows from here on out. Looking forward to it. All right,
definitely. I hope to see. I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I hope to see all these people in the Ocean View Pavilion on Sunday. The show's free, free TV tapings, guys, free.
Yeah, nothing better than that. You know how people are free stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think people are getting a discount at that because I think there would be a lot of people willing to pay to get into that. But Championship Wrestling from Hollywood is, I think nice enough and generous enough to say, hey, you don't have to pay anything. Come on down, watch some good wrestling. And, I've been watching it, and it's not like it's just random people coming in and the crowds are quiet. Those are some of the best crowds I've seen in a long time. I mean, they're hot for every match. They're into every character, and you don't see that with every promotion. Sometimes it's kind of hit and miss.
Absolutely. We have definitely a dedicated fan base, and we're always getting more and more people. I know a lot of people come out from all over California to check it out. I was talking to people out in coming from San Bernardino, Ontario, places like that, and that's a 2-hour drive, So they're coming. Yeah. They're coming out to check it out.
Yeah, where I actually live in L.A., kind of by where the Staples Center is at, and it's maybe an hour and a half drive, something like that, for me. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's free parking, So what beats that? You're driving an hour. To me, an hour and a half. I'm just only wasting some gas. But hey, I'm paying. I'm not paying for a show or parking. It's kind of worth the drive if you're gonna go check out a free show or parking. So,
definitely
go for it. Yeah. My next question I was going to ask you, though, while we were in the subject of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, you guys just did 200 episodes. I know you were there from pretty much the beginning. I remember how I started watching the show was when I don't know, for some reason, it was Saturday night. I was just looking at my TV. I had XPW in my memory, damn, I remember XPW was on around this time coming up. And for some reason, I was hoping XPW would come on, but, at the same time, I'm it's not going to come out. The next one, it was just wrestling. Oh, shit, there's a wrestling program. Okay, I'm going to watch it then. That's how I actually started watching Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, because my memories were XPW from back in the day. And then I remember from the beginnings, when you were part of Standard, to your feud with Ryan Taylor, until now your battles with the Vermin. How do you feel that you've been in the beginning, all the way from the beginning until 200 episodes of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood?
I love it. I've been a part of it forever. I pretty much my career has grown at Championship Wrestling. I was on the very first match of our very first episode in a losing effort against Colt Cabana. I was just on the 200th episode in a winning effort with my boy Ray Rosas against the Revolution, Sasha Derevko and Fidel Bravo. So it's a fun learning and growing experience. You mentioned a lot of the things that I did. I got the team with Adam Pearce, Joey Chaos, and Austin Aries in the Standard. That helped me to grow as an individual and as a performer. I had my feud there, blood feud with Ryan Taylor, which ended up in a cage match, which ended up bringing me and Ray together. So it's a lot of growing. You see the evolution, I guess, of PPA. So I love it. I love being a part of it, and I hope to stay a part of it as we grow bigger into a bigger company and a bigger organization.
Yeah, definitely. The way how it's going right now, it feels like it's getting bigger and bigger. I already feel like it's 10 times bigger than how I first watched it.
you know. So I'm glad it's getting more out there. More eyes can watch it besides the Los Angeles area. Now you can have guys from New York that actually can watch it, so it's pretty cool, you know. So
absolutely, we can get we have the Patreon service. I think the URL is patreon.com/United Wrestling. I'll post it on my Twitter to be exact. I'm not exactly sure of the URL right now, but it's cheap. You donate a few bucks, and you get all Championship Wrestling programs of our current program. You get past Championship Wrestling from Hollywood programs. You even get stuff that was unaired. There's matches on there with Daniel Bryan, X-Pac, and a bunch of guys like that.
Yeah, I saw that the Daniel Bryan thing. Like, oh shit, Daniel Bryan was in Church. What the fuck?
Yeah, he was. We had him. We had the Young Bucks, X-Pac.
Cesaro.
Yeah, Cesaro was there tearing it up. He early on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. It was we had Cesaro wrestling Nick Madrid, so that was something. Yeah.
So I mean, they got some talents. They're fortunately in the WWE right now has been in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. So anybody that's listening that has never checked it out, I recommend you guys check it out. So just check it out maybe after we're done with this show. So
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, you have a question for him?
Yeah, my next question I got for Mr. Peter Avalon is, over the past weekend, you were at FCW over in San Diego, and one of our last guests, Mr. B-Boy, was actually there as well. And that's kind of another growing wrestling organization down in Southern California. So talk about your experiences in FCW and where you see that company going.
FCW, man, Finest City Wrestling was a nice change of pace. I haven't been to San Diego in a while. It's way down there. Close to the border, but it's definitely worth the drive. It's definitely worth going to a show. They had a hell of a show on Friday. I wrestled Mariachi Loco, and I loved the match that me and him had. The Lucha Underground star, Mariachi Loco. We had a hell of a match. The crowd was on fire. They had a hell of a main event with Berman versus the Young Bucks. An incredible four-way featuring B-Boy, Cholo, SoCal Crazy, and Famous B. So you have tons of talent on that show. A lot of the Lucha Underground talent. You have a lot of the best of the SoCal scene, and a lot of great San Diego guys. It's definitely helping the San Diego scene blow up again. There's tons of great stuff happening down there with FCW and SoCal Pro.
Without a doubt. When B-Boy was on here, he was talking about it as well, and he was just raving about it and how he couldn't wait to get down there as well. So just another SoCal organization to look out for. It seems like there's too many to keep count. I mean, my head's just spinning trying to keep track of all of them.
That's definitely one of them to check out, though. They have great stuff going on. Brian Cage versus Big Duke, which was a hell of a match, hard-hitting. Then they have the ladies in action, too. They had Raze versus Kiku Nakamura, which was a hard-hitting contest between those broads, man. They're bad bitches, and they beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you and Raze got at it before and on AWS. I mean, you already know how Raze is. You know how hard she can hit. So I'm sure you know what's up with all that. She's great, and she's going to be in action on Saturday for AWS. It's going to be her versus Lufisto, which is going to be awesome. Yeah, that's great for her. I mean, when I found out that match was going on, I'm like, wow, this is big for Ray. Because Lufisto is, to me right now, is probably the top 5 best women wrestlers today. So she is a bad bitch, and I am stoked for that match. That's going to be something. Yeah, she is. I even don't want to mess with her. So, yeah, she's very great in the ring. I enjoy watching her in AWS, WSU, wherever she goes. I enjoy watching her. So she is one bad, like you said, bitch. I say it with love because they're hell of wrestlers, man. They're incredible pro wrestlers. Yeah, they are, and get to see her live in AWS. I mean, it's very amazing. So I'm happy to see her again this weekend. I'm happy for Ray to go get in the ring with her. So can't wait for that. But I will be there Saturday, front row, by the way. I'm speaking about SCW. I mean, the San Diego scene, I feel like it's getting more popular. Like, it feels like I want to go to San Diego to check out some wrestling out there. I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't been to an SCW show, but I really want to check it out because you guys been having some great cards. Like, you have Young Bucks been out there, yourself been down there, Sage Shin been there. I mean, B-Boy, it's great. I mean, it's amazing, and it's just a 2-hour drive where I live. So I'm going to head down to San Diego one of these days. So, yeah. Speaking about San Diego, my next question I want to ask you is something that I seen you did in San Diego, but almost 2 years ago, I was at Bound for Glory at TNA, and I saw you having your match against EC3 out there in Bound for Glory, and I remember when you came out, you shocked the hell out of everybody there. I remember a friend of mine actually lost his voice for chanting PPA so many times.
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
Yeah,
great.
He couldn't talk after the show. I remember that. He couldn't talk after the show. He lost his freaking voice because he marked out and saw you out there, and I was shocked to see you out there too. I was like, wait a minute, 2 days ago I just saw this guy in PWG. Now he's in TNA. What the fuck?
That was fun, man. I definitely had a lot of fun doing Bound for Glory and my TNA run. It was fun.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your TNA run. How was it? Your experience with in TNA? How was the locker room out there? And how was it going around the East Coast, Mark? Because I saw some of your pictures, like when you were in Cincinnati, you were covering your face because I believe it was cold out there. And how was your whole experience with the TNA roster and working with guys like the Bromans, Samoa Joe, and I believe there's some names I can't really think of, but I know you worked with a couple of guys out there. So how was your time in TNA?
I had fun in TNA. I wish it was a little longer, but I had fun. Me and Dewey ended up becoming a fun team.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about any of the people there. They were everyone was cordial to me. Everyone was nice to me. I got to meet my wrestling idol Kurt Angle, which was awesome for me.
Yeah.
EC3 was a cool dude. I really enjoyed working with him. I definitely would like to work with him again in some capacity, maybe a singles match somewhere.
Good.
Would love to. I also would what I really want is me and Ray versus the Bromans, because I think that would be a fun match, Jesse and Robbie.
Oh yeah, I mean Jesse was at AWS just a few months ago, so it would be nice if they could bring in the Bromans, because I believe TNA is now letting their stars work anywhere in independent scenes now. I guess that's how their new contract is. So
I'm
who
not
knows?
sure what the deal is, but definitely that'd be something. And I got to get my revenge on EC3. So I need a one-on-one somewhere with him.
Well, good luck. He's still undefeated. He looks like he's going to beat Goldberg's record.
Oh, he might. He just might.
Yeah, he just might. Just like 2 weekends ago, he was at House of Hardcore, and he just got 619 by Rey Mysterio, which I could call him Junior again, I believe. So, yeah, he got kicked by Rey Mysterio Jr., and that's the last time I've seen an EC3. But, yeah, he's still doing good in TNA. Hopefully he gets a world title run, because it seems like he deserves it now, and he's like the top heel there to me. So,
I think he deserves it, man. I think so. That'd be good for him.
Yeah, or maybe they should have a Norv Fernum comeback, and maybe you guys can have it on again in TNA. So we'll tune in.
I'll challenge for that belt. If he wins that belt, I'll challenge for it.
Yeah, why not? Or bring back the TV title and have you run with the TV title. I don't know what the hell Vince. Yeah, I don't know what the hell the Vince is doing with it, but yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it back to Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, my next question, it actually comes from my buddy Mike, who's working right now, so he couldn't be here to be over the phone to ask it. But I figured this was going to come up anyway. He wants to know, what's the deal with you and PWG? Why haven't you been there in quite some time? I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, if there's anything not stemming, but have you been in communications with them? Because I've seen a lot of people asking for PP Ray to come back.
I'm not too sure what the deal with PWG is. I haven't really been in contact with them. But if the opportunity is there, I would love to come back to PWG, especially with my main man Ray. It makes me happy to hear that people definitely want to see PP Ray back in PWG, because I know I love our team. I think we're a hell of a team, a fun team, an entertaining team, and I think we'd be a good fit for PWG. They're bringing in a bunch of new teams. I think PP Ray versus the Beaver Boys would be a hell of an entertaining match. I think PP Ray versus Candice and Joey would be a great match. Versus the Young Bucks would be great. So I would definitely like to get back there.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Because now all these crazy rumors going around with Ring of Honor, like they took away Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish away from PWG due to the Ring of Honor's contract. Now I'm hearing that they want to do like long-term stuff. Like, example, they want guys to stay exclusive to Ring of Honor. I think they're having big plans, so that can like take half of the roster away. And if anything, they might call you guys up if that rumor is true. But even though that rumor is not true, I mean, there's a time you guys were there and we hear "please come back" chants, So, and I remember we were on the show with Ray. After the show, I saw tweets that they want you guys in PWG, and like a week later, you guys are booked against B-Boy and Willie Mack. It's kind of crazy. So
yeah,
I would. It just seems like the fans do do respect you. They want to see you in. I mean, they still got love for you. It's not like they forgot about you. You guys. It's one of those things where you guys are not forgotten. But hopefully you guys could get booked in the next PWG show or the next one after. Who knows when? But I don't know.
If they do that DDT4 tournament again, I think me and Ray would be a good team to enter into that tournament.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know what? They haven't done one this year. I don't know why, but it just seems like they're going a different direction in a way. But who knows? Like I said, I don't know if this Ring of Honor rumor is true or not, but if it is true, then they're going to lose half of that roster, and they might bring you guys back. So who knows?
Yeah. But I would be all for it. I mean, I remember when I was first getting into PWG, I can remember one of the first shows, PP Ray was in there, and, that was the first exposure I got to seeing Peter Avalon, and I was just like, holy shit, because you see your appearance and you're like, man, that guy's not going to do much. This is coming from a skinny guy like myself, and that's why I related to you. I was like, this skinny guy's going out there and kicking ass just like everybody else. He doesn't have to be jacked up or anything. He's kicking ass no matter what. And I don't know, who knows? I think with PWG, anybody can come back at any time. Never say never, and hopefully you guys get back soon.
Hopefully soon. Definitely never say never. So I think we'll get back there for sure.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. All right, Oscar, I'll pass it right back to you.
Yeah, definitely. My next question I'd like to ask you, in 1 month, in April, you're actually going to be having 2 shows. Actually, you're going to be in 2 shows in one night. I know you got an IWL, and you're going to be part of the joint show of AWS and Quintessential Pro, which in IWL you're getting a title shot against your partner Ray in a 6-way match against other competitors. And at AWS and QPO show, you're actually teaming up with Ray against the world's cutest tag team from you could say the PWG Tag Team Champions. I was just going to ask you. I want to ask you the Quintessential match. I know you're going to go against Joe and Candice. How are you looking forward to working with those two? And I know these guys are like they're red hot right now. They're pretty much everywhere you go. They're in FWE. They're also doing promotions in the East Coast like CCW and etc. So how much are you looking forward to work with Joey and Candice?
I'm excited for that. Ray and I have worked both with Joey and Candice in different capacities, but we've never worked them as a team. So it'll be a new experience at that way since they're a team now, and they are red hot right now. They just came off of a tour of Europe, so that'll be great for PP Ray to wrestle the world's cutest tag team. I think it'll be a hell of a match. They're both very talented.
Yeah, you guys are. I mean, I think it's gonna be a one funny ass match. I'll tell you that right now. It's gonna be very interesting to see what's going on. I mean, it was kind of like, it was funny to watch when you guys had that match at the last Q Pro show. No, that's not the last one, but it's the last one they had in California when you guys went out against Candice and Christina Von Airy. I was there and I laughed my ass off on that one.
That was a fun one. Yeah, and before that show, I think it'll be at IWL because you did their shows early. You're getting a title match against your partner Ray in a six-way match. I see, and it's gonna be is this gonna be an iPay-per-view? I believe it'll be on iPay-per-view. IWL right now is the only spot out in SoCal that does iPay-per-views. You can purchase it on their website, and it's only $5.
Oh yeah, I know, because I remember the show was free, but since they moved to that new venue, it's like they're trying to test things out. I've been to the show with their new venue. I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it. I mean, I like IW. I like to check. I mean, they're good shows. I mean, I was there when you won the NXT belt from Joey Ryan. It was a good show. So hopefully you can win the world title, from Ray, your tag team partner.
Hey, we'll see how it goes. I just lost the Anarchy belt at the last show, unfortunately, but it's going to be a 7-way scramble type match for the main event. It should be fun. Me, Ray, Eric Watts, Chris Evans, Simon Lotto, Johnny Suave, and Eric Cross. We're all going after that belt and see what we can see if we can all win.
That scramble match, is it like is it kind of like they had in WWE a couple years ago where there was 6 competitors? Do you have a time limit? Is it something like that where when you get a pinfall, whoever gets that, you can say that title, the last fall, by the end, you win the title. Is that how the rules are in this match?
No, I think this match is one fall to a finish.
Oh, one fall to the finish. Okay, I feel you. All right, I'm going to pass it then to Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
Yes, I was very interested because you just brought up IWL doing an iPay-per-view, and today Mike Johnson of PW Insider posted an interesting article about FWE's last show where during the iPay-per-view people were posting free links to the iPay-per-view for people to get them for free, and very interesting article. But I wanted to get your take. What do you think about all these people trying to stream iPay-per-views from independent companies and trying not to, pay in support and help independent wrestling, instead just taking the easy way out because they think that, they can do it? So what's your whole take on it?
I think that sucks, man. If you want to see wrestling, pay for it. It's only $5, and a lot of these other, IWL is $5, but I know a lot of these other iPay-per-views are like, what, 10, 15, $20? That's chump change for an incredible show, FWE puts on a hell of a show. They just had Morrison and AJ Styles go at it, or excuse me, Johnny Mundo. Is he Johnny Mundo or is he Johnny Morrison? Where does he wrestle over there?
I think they still keep John Morrison.
Well, Morrison against AJ Styles for the belt, so they had an that's worth the price of admission or the price of the pay-per-view alone. Combat Zone, I know they do iPay-per-views. I think Beyond Wrestling does. So, if you want to see some wrestling, definitely pay for it. It sucks that people want to go the easy way out, but, it happens.
Yeah, and it's definitely disheartening because even if there aren't iPay-per-views, there's companies that put out, DVDs through various websites, wherever they produce their DVDs. There's multiple ways for you to watch wrestling, and it's going to come at a cost, but it's helping out people, who don't make a lot of money in the industry compared to a lot of other people. So you're helping them out. That's why, I look at something as simple as Pro Wrestling Tees. It's a simple concept about letting independent contractors produce their own shirts, and they get the profits from it. It's pretty simple, and people just don't want to seem to get on board with it, and it's kind of frustrating.
It's definitely frustrating, but it's like anything, arts and entertainment. If you want to show support for your favorite movie, for your favorite band, for your favorite wrestler, you show support with your dollar.
I couldn't say it better myself. Hopefully the mentality changes around, and people, because you hear it all the time. You hear people always online complaining about something within wrestling, and they're like, man, I wish I had something to watch. And there's so much out there. There's so much that you can watch, especially this day and age, and people are just looking for the free way to do it instead of, spending the money. And then, it's not like you're going to get a bad product from it. It's not like you're wasting your money. You're going to always, I think, get a great product. I think the indies are at a point right now where they're hotter maybe than ever before. I don't know if you can agree with that.
I agree. I have that conversation sometimes with people, and I say wrestling is cool again. So,
yeah, I would say so. I see people talk about independence more and more each day, and like I said, how much independent wrestling I'm exposed to now as compared to years ago is amazing. I never thought that I would be able to watch independent shows in California when I'm all the way out here on the East. So it's some great stuff, and, I'm always willing to support it, and, there's never a doubt that I'll do something for free, and I want to get out to California,
Yeah.
I want to see some money, want to go check out some championship wrestling from Hollywood, some AWS, all the stuff that I hear Oscar bragging about and talking about and rubbing in my face that I don't get to see.
Well, right. If you can, come on out, man. Come on out, check it out. We put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, definitely. We have a caller once again. Actually, it's a good friend of all of ours, Mr. W.H. Skits. What's going on, Skits?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, Peter?
What's up, Skits? How are you, dude?
I'm good, man. I'm actually on my break real quick. Just wanted to call up and ask, 2 questions real quick. Number one, we know you and Ray are, one of the hottest tag teams in SoCal. If you had to pick another hot team out there that would probably deserve a shot at the AWS titles or even the Championship from Hollywood titles right now, who would you like to have a 3 stages of hell type of match with? And the next question I have is, what's your favorite WrestleMania moment? Since we're in the WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
What about for the team? Does it have to be a hot team out here, or is it just whatever?
I would say SoCal right now.
For a shot at our AWS belt, I'd say Berman. Berman is probably one of the hotter things going on right now. And me and Ray always have an incredible match with Berman.
Yeah, it's funny that you just mentioned them because I would love to see those guys show up at AWS because usually when I see those guys, it's usually a championship wrestling from Hollywood. Hopefully Bart, hopefully he's listening somewhere. He can get these guys down and can get a match booked at AWS with you guys going against them.
Well, hopefully. What was your WrestleMania question? It was hard. I couldn't hear it completely.
No, I said, what's your favorite, your current favorite WrestleMania moment, from the last 5 years?
When was Angle and Kurt? I don't think that was within the last 5 years, but that's my all-time favorite moment. That match was that match blew me away.
You said Kurt Angle and who?
And Shawn Michaels, HBK.
Oh,
but I don't think that wasn't the last 5 years.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
within the last 5 years, I'd probably say the biggest thing for me was Taker losing. Man, that blew me away.
Yeah, I was shocked too. Even though I was not in the arena, but I had that same look, what the fuck? This is really happening. Yeah, I was
speechless, man. My jaw hit the floor. I was just blown back.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in my mind. Did the referee fucked up, or oh, is this The Undertaker's last match? What the fuck, you know? So that's why I think
who knows, man.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank Skits. He just hanged up. I want to thank Skits for calling in. Give a shout out to him. And I also got a question from Twitter. Maybe he's from out of the country, but he has an international question about you and Ray. He, sorry if I mispronounced your Twitter name, but it says E. Bornson, but I guess you put your name as Mr. Brown. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but his question he wants to ask you is there any chance you and Ray will be heading to Japan, Europe, or Australia?
Oh, I would love to definitely head out to either of those places. Australia and Japan would be incredible because we could wrestle TMDK, Shane Haste, and Mikey Nichols on either spot. So that'd be something. And I would definitely like to head out to Europe. That's a goal of mine is to go into Europe. And I would love to go there with Ray. We could definitely hit up a spot like WXW in Germany or anywhere in Britain, places like that. That's definitely a goal. And I would love to be there at any of those places.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd like to see you guys in Japan with that over there in New Japan with going out there for the junior tag belts guys against the Young Bucks, and I guess the new tag team of Rocky Romero and Beretta. They're heading over there. And,
yeah, that'd be something. I would definitely like to wrestle RPG Vice and the Young Bucks over there. That'd be incredible. Those are both incredible teams.
Yeah, and don't forget the Time Splitters as well. Those guys are an amazing tag team as well. So if you guys get in that tag division, the junior tag division, that's going to be awesome. That would be great. I'd love to see you guys work out there, and it's like if you guys going against the Vermin, you guys would be going against the Bullet Club. So it'd be freaking awesome,
Absolutely, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, and out there in Japan, maybe Hudson will tell you when she comes back. I bet you out there it's a different vibe in the U.S. because, out there in Japan, pro wrestling is huge out there. It's almost like the NFL out here in the United States. If you could walk around the street, you could feel like Aaron Rodgers. So,
Yeah, that'd be great. New Japan would be great. Dragon Gate would definitely be something. Wherever, as long as we can get out there.
Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully you get down to the international level down the road, just like Candice and Joey did. The tour in Europe, I think they did. So, yeah, hopefully you and Ray can do the same thing, But first, I'd like to see an East Coast going against guys like maybe the Juicy Product or Red Dragon, like those tag teams, So hopefully I can see.
Yeah, Red Dragon would be definitely something. I think me and Ray would have a fun time with Team Tremendous out there at Beyond Wrestling. So that one would be fun one, I think.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with that. Team Tremendous versus PP Ray. I would pay a shit ton of money to see that.
I hope Beyond, if someone tells that to Beyond that they'll pay a shit ton of money for it, hopefully they put it on.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it in any of the promotions that Team Tremendous works for. They just went to Evolve. They work at a promotion that runs near me, Interspecies Wrestling. I think you guys would fit in well there as well. I'm gonna start contacting some promoters and contacting some bookers and let them know. Spend the money and fly them out here.
Or people that's listening in the East Coast, contact your promoters out there and tell you guys you want to see PP Ray in the East Coast. Please, just bug the shit out of them. Then it might work. That's what we did at PWG. We bugged the shit out of them. Then they got them in there. So maybe if you guys could just bug the shit out of your East Coast promoters and bring them to New York, Philadelphia, whatever, then it'll be a party out there. PP Ray will bring the party out there, and just bring out your Bud Lights out. Get ready, because you guys will have a party out there.
Definitely. We'll bring our. We'll come down there. We'll dance. We'll shake our hips. It'll be good.
Fanny packs and all that.
That's right. Fanny packs and the members only jackets.
Definitely. You guys. Yeah, Tom, you gotta bug somebody in the East Coast and bring them out there. It'll be great. I've seen these guys so many times.
I've been telling some promoters here on the East Coast that, even though it can get expensive, get some guys from the West Coast. It'll be worth it. it's not gonna affect you. And there's a ton of great talent on the West Coast. I think it's just all circumstance, and maybe when the time comes, West Coast guys are going to be flown out here more, which I'm all in favor for.
Yeah, definitely. I think I had the next question, I believe, because the last two questions were from Skip and the Twitter question. But all right, well, my next question I want to ask you, this Friday, you're going to be in Santino's, which these Santino shows been great. I like going to Santino's, but I see you and Ray teaming up against, I believe he's tag named the Nerds. I know one of them personally, Darwin French. He's a good friend of mine. He's cool. And Taz. I know these guys are really young. About a year ago, that's when I first met those guys. They were still getting trained, but now they're doing shows with Santino's. My question I want to ask you, with these two guys, what's your thoughts going in with these two? Because, like I said, they just barely started. They're pretty much rookies. What's your thoughts going in with these two guys? And did you actually? I know you're not a Santino's trainer, but did they ever ask you for advice or anything like that?
I haven't been asked for advice, but I know I've worked Chaz before. He teamed with Che against TP Ray, and it was a good one. I'm excited for it. I like working with less experienced guys, see what we can do, and definitely give them a good match, because you never stop learning in wrestling, and they're at the very beginning stages, so they can learn a lot, I think, from Ray and I. So that'll be a fun one. I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah, this Friday, Bell Gardens, California, which I believe is going to be, because you guys, maybe it's moving around so many times, So I believe this is in Bell Gardens, the actual place where they used to do the show. You guys are doing a show out there this Friday night at Bell Gardens.
The Santino Brothers Dojo in Bell Gardens.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, that's where you guys are going to do the show, and you guys going against. I think they're tagging with the Nerds, right?
I think they're the Nerds. I'm not sure if they're actually officially called the Nerds, but they're a big bunch of nerds.
Yeah, there are a bunch of nerds. Yeah, that's a show you guys got to check out. If you ain't doing nothing on a Friday night, head down to Bell Gardens, California, at the Santino's Dojo. They've been having great shows. You know what? This is just I just remembered something. I remember we had Eli Everfly on here about a few months ago. He said he wants to have a match with you. That's like one of his goals right now. He wants to have a match with you, just a singles match. Is he someone that you might have gave advice or anything like that? Did you help this guy around? Or I don't know. Why do you think he might want a match with you? Because he said at the time he had never had an opportunity to work with you. I don't know if you guys have now, but this was just a few months ago when he brought this up. But is there a reason why maybe you and Eli will have a match anytime soon somewhere?
We did. We had a singles match at Brian Kendrick's. It was a Brian Kendrick's school. It was a school show.
Okay.
There's a video on YouTube actually of me and him, and I liked it. I liked the match with Eli. He's coming around. He's coming along he's coming along well. Athletically, he's there. He's solid. He's definitely really good, and he can only get better as he progresses and keeps training.
Yeah, that guy is awesome. I mean, I enjoy watching this guy, and I hope his name could get out there more, because I wish he could go out against more bigger name talent, because this guy is amazing in the ring. I enjoy watching him. Doesn't matter what promotion. I enjoy watching him. I actually told Bart to bring this guy to AWS. I think he deserves to be out there. He's a phenomenal talent. So people, if you're listening that has not heard of the name Eli Everfly, you guys got to check him out right now. All right. Go ahead, Tom.
Yep, I've been getting a couple of text messages from a couple of buddies of mine who are listening to the show right now. And they actually, of course, because there's no communication, they sent the same question. They both want to know, Peter, You, of course, are known for working with Ray Rosas as PP Ray, but you've also gone out and worked on your own. What are some of the pros and cons on working as a tag team and working by yourself? Do you enjoy one more than the other?
I enjoy both of them. I don't really enjoy one over the other, but I like doing both of them. I like the tag team because it's fun. I just like tag team wrestling. I've always been a fan of tag team wrestling, so I like being able to have a partner that's I think he's incredible in the ring. So to be able to team up with him is always a pleasure and an honor. And I love Ray. He's a great dude and a hell of a wrestler. I like wrestling. I love wrestling by myself too. When I get that opportunity, I try to take advantage of it and try to give my all and try to have good matches and try different things and see what I can do. I was glad to have that opportunity this past weekend. I got to do a singles match at FCW, against Mariachi Loco, and then the following day I had a tag match with Ray Rosas in New Mexico. So that was fun to be able to do one of each kind of match this weekend.
Definitely. I can see how, usually when we ask guys who are part of tag teams if they one like more than the other, and they usually give the response that you just gave, that they enjoy both. And I think it just shows, how versatile a lot of indie guys are, including yourself, that, you're not just stuck on, okay, I'm going to be just a tag team or I'm just going to be a singles guy. You can go out there and do both, no problem whatsoever.
Definitely. That's what you got to be able to be versatile in the ring, because you never know who you're going to step in there with, and you want to be able to step your game up wherever you're going. So you don't want to just get kind of stuck and typecast into one kind of thing,
Without a doubt. All right, Oscar, I'm going to pass it right back to you.
All right, well, I have one final question for Peter, actually. At the time you were with TNA, how close, or actually, it's a question might lead to a question, but at the time you were in TNA, how close were you with Sting? Were you, real close, or did you guys ever have a conversation or anything like that?
The only conversation I ever had with Sting was I told him, I shook his hand and introduced myself, and he introduced himself. And that's really about it. I never really had the opportunity to chat with him or anything. But he was nice. He wasn't rude or anything. He was cordial to me.
Yeah, because I just want to add, because the thing is, though, right now he's like red hot right now, even though he's not on Raw every Monday night. But he just appeared on Raw just like right now. And I just want to know your thoughts going in. I know you met the guy. You were backstage with the guy. What's your thoughts with Sting? He's finally going to have his WrestleMania moment in 2 weeks up in the Bay Area, which I'm going to be there. And I also know what's your thoughts going in. I know you don't really know him that well. You just, like you just said right now, you just introduced his name and that's it. But what's your thoughts going in with Sting heading out to WrestleMania and the work he's putting in right now? He's just like red hot. The reaction he gets is like amazing, I never heard that reaction for him for a long time like that. So what's your thoughts of going in with Sting going into WrestleMania?
I'm excited for him in Triple H. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be something. It'll be cool to see Sting get his WrestleMania time and his moment. So I think that'll be really cool. I'll also be up there that weekend. I'm a part of the King of Indies Battle Royal, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to be up there, too, in the Bay Area. I'm fucking so many wrestling shows, like, goddamn, man.
There's a lot up there. There's Evolve, the King of Indies. Even Kaiju Big Battle is going to be running, so you have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, NXT. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I'm in wrestling heaven,
Yeah, absolutely. Bring your money.
Yeah, right. I mean, I already saved money. I'm going to up in the Bay Area. I'm just checking more wrestling sites, WWE. So hope I see you out there in the Bay Area, man. And
hopefully. Well, I'm sure we'll run into each other. I'm excited for the King of Indies tournament up there. That's definitely going to be something. And any show that's running is going to be really good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got Ring of Honor. You're bringing in Justin Thunder, who rarely comes in America. You got NXT, who rarely comes to California. Like, God damn it, you know. Yeah,
so it's going to be awesome.
Half of those talents that I've seen in NXT, I've seen them in PWG before. So, you know, it's going to be awesome to see them too. But I'm like, damn, there's a lot of shows going on. But yeah, that was my final question. Tom, you have a final question for him?
I just want to thank him for coming on. I'm out of questions. You know, big fan, Peter Avalon. I think everybody is. I don't know anybody that says anything bad about him. I mean, when you're as good looking as Peter Avalon, you're going to have a ton of fans. So there's no surprise.
Well, thanks, man. Thank you.
All right, Peter. Before we let you go, man, do you want to give any plugs to our listeners where they can follow you and any social media?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me on my Facebook, facebook.com/Peter Avalon. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/PAvalon. It's one word. I'm also on Instagram too. It's PPA all day. Check out my website, peteravalon.com, for any dates, pictures, videos, things like that. Yeah, just give me a follow, give me a shout out on Twitter, whatever you guys want. I try to respond. I don't just favorite and ignore. I try to respond. So.
Yeah, I remember about a year ago, I was in a mall. They actually played your theme music there. I was like, oh shit, PP Ray's in the Delamo Mall. Oh shit.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. We're everyone's obsession. PP Ray.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if you noticed that in the WWE Network, they actually played your theme song for the commercial for Saturday Night's Main Event. Maybe because it was all 80s and all that stuff. So yeah,
that was their theme back in the day. Was Obsession.
Yep, that was. But anyways, Peter, thank you for being on once again. We'll probably hit you up in the future. You know, who knows what the future holds. But yeah, man, I'll see you over there Saturday at AWS, kicking some Reno scum's ass. You know, drinking some beer.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a show, man. We got Sabu on the show, Sanjay Dutt, so it's gonna be something.
Yeah, anybody, like I said, everybody listening in LA area or anybody could drive to LA, Saturday, Southgate, California, AWS is the place to be Saturday. I mean, after the show, there's gonna be an after party. Bring your singing voices if you want to do karaoke. You know, that's the place to be, and you can see Mr. Avalon right here kick some ass. You know, doing his little Stone Cold thing with the Bud Lights, you know. So
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So anybody's out there, come to Southgate, California. It's the place to be. And let's pack that motherfucker out. So, yeah, and do it for Sabu.
That's right.
All right, Peter, I'll see you Saturday, and keep kicking ass, bro.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you Saturday, man.
I'll see you Saturday, bro. All right, man. Take care. Guys. Have a good day.
Take care.
Bye. All right. That was Peter Avalon. It was always great to have him on. And people, East Coast, remember, bug to share your East Coast promoters to bring him in the East Coast. He's a fun talent to watch in person. I get to see him a lot of times, so I'm hoping one of these days you guys could check him out, especially a guy like Tom over here could check him out in person, you know?
Oh, yeah, you know, like I said earlier, I can remember first watching PWG and seeing Peter Avalon, and I was impressed. Him and Ray Roses, you know, I had never heard of them before, and then they went out there and they were killing it, and he's still killing it now, and, you know, Peter Avalon's still incredibly young, so he's only going to get better. It's only uphill from here. And just from what I've heard, one of the funniest dudes, one of the hardest workers out there as well. So it was great to have him on. Like I said, another fantastic guest here on Wrestlingheads Radio. It seems that we get the good people in independent wrestling. We don't really get any of these sticklers here.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, we're working on another guest. We're getting close to confirm, but April 6th, we got Hernandez. So keep go keep an eye on that. Let's take a commercial break, and we'll talk about some Raw and some Ring of Honor rumors that's going around. After this commercial break, we'll be right back.
What's up? This is the phenomenal AJ Styles down here in LA, kicking it with the PWG, busting my tail. Freaking great tournament. The bowler tournament is freaking amazing. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, everybody and anybody needs to listen to Wrestlingheads podcast.
This is Biff Busick, CZW World Champion, and you're listening to Wrestlingheads Radio, the greatest podcast in the history of the Internet.
Shout out to both Biff Busick and AJ Styles for doing that soundbite for us. We need an update because Biff Busick ain't the CCW champion, but anyways. I think we got Mr. Matthew Grant with us right now, I believe. Is that you, Mr. Grant, there?
It is.
Yeah, definitely. Just had a great time with Peter Avalon. It's just crazy that Tom asking about PWG. We haven't seen him there for a while, so hopefully we get to see him in the future. Maybe when you finally hit to Reseda, Matt, you'll see him there, you know?
Maybe so.
Yeah, maybe so. All right. Your boy, Ethan Page, just favored my tweet, by the way, on my personal account. But anyway. Raw, Monday Night Raw. I like the ending of Raw. It was a great ending, but it was an okay
the only
episode.
highlight of the show, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Tom, what you thought of Raw tonight, man?
Just like you, besides the ending, it was pretty boring. Nothing really eventful happened.
Literally, what I said before that happened was the Divas match was the highlight of Raw because it went 11 minutes.
Yeah, that Divas match went a long time. I mean, they're giving Divas a chance, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just watching Raw, and this goes back months and months and months ago. I watch it just to see what happens, but it's just like I don't care. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania is, 13 days away, they said. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like WrestleMania is going to be like another month away. I just don't really care about the matches. And also for this, thank God WWE is Paul Heyman. He is saving that main event. He is absolutely carrying that on his back. And it just shows why he's one of the best.
Yeah. And not only that, Bray Wyatt's segments with The Undertaker, I mean, he's pretty much carrying that match as well. I mean, even though The Undertaker's not showing up on Raw, you know, Bray Wyatt is saving the interest of this match. Coming out saying, you know, he's not the man he used to be and all that. You have Undertaker coming back with spooky stuff like lightning, putting the fucking chair on fire, you know. I like all that. I mean, Bray Wyatt's carrying that match as well, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people critical of this matchup. You know, they said that it shouldn't be Bray Wyatt and Undertaker. They're not really caring for the build-up. I think the build-up's been good, and I'm definitely a little bit interested in the match. I'm interested to see what they do with if they're going to have Taker lose, which I think that's an obvious choice. They have to build up Bray Wyatt as the next big, you know, monster in that company, and it would be a perfect opportunity to. I don't know. It just, I feel like it could. It's the theme, I think, of this WrestleMania, where they have the right guys, but it's just like there's no build-up. There's no excitement. There's nothing that really draws you in and says, man, I can't wait for WrestleMania. You know, if you're not going, you know, being there live is different because whenever you go to a live event, whatever it is, you're at least somewhat excited. For the people watching, I really don't see anything on this card that makes you excited for WrestleMania, which is supposed to be the biggest show of the year. I mean, the ladder match is going to be good. I don't doubt that. But at the same time, it could also be shit. It's WWE. They can make it like a 3-minute match. I wouldn't hold it past them to do that. But other than that,
it doesn't help that half the matches on WrestleMania we saw like either tonight or on SmackDown or something, and they're going to be rematches. Like, what's the point in doing them like 2 weeks before the freaking big show? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. That's a great point. And I've mentioned this before, but when I compare it to Wrestle Kingdom from this year, I can remember being hyped up. I forget how many total matches there were on Wrestle Kingdom. I think there was 10 maybe. But I was excited for about 7 or 8 of them. A lot of the multi-man tag matches I wasn't really excited for. But when more than half of the show has me really excited to see the matches, and there were 5, maybe 6 matches that were excellent matches. They delivered. They delivered on the hype, and they met up to expectations. And it's the clear difference right now between New Japan and WWE. Obviously, New Japan takes wrestling a lot more seriously, and they take their competitors a lot more seriously. And, Jado and Gato actually know how to book. But it just shows the clear differences, and that's why I'm more excited. I was more excited for the New Japan Cup than I am for WrestleMania. And the New Japan Cup's not a big event too much for New Japan. It's kind of one of the smaller things they do throughout the year. But when you're more excited for a smaller show for New Japan than the biggest event for WWE, I think that says something.
Yeah, definitely. I feel you on there. I feel like it's just WrestleMania. I mean, to me, because I'm going out there, but I kind of feel what you're going to, because you're not going to WrestleMania. You're not going to check out these other shows like Evolve and all that, the live experience. I think I'm feeling a different taste like you are. I know right now there's not that much I should be excited. Like, it looks like the tag team match, triple threat tag team match, it looks like it's going to happen. I don't know if I'm excited for that, but I'm excited to see what the Star Wars is going to do.
You brought up the tag team match, and the tag team that they were supposed to build up for this match, the Ascension, where the fuck are they? You put in who gives a flying fuck about the Matadors? Nobody gives a fuck about them or El Torito. El Torito can do a lot better.
I'm glad you brought this up, because that 6-thing interspecies match on SmackDown is like the biggest slap in the face to those competitors ever.
Yeah. So what is that? An interspecies tag match? Is El Torito an alien? No, he's a human. What the? It's disgusting. It is disgusting. And you talk about an interspecies match. They didn't hype up an interspecies as an interspecies match when they did the WLC match last year at Extreme Rules, and that match was so much fun to watch, because those guys just went out there and they put on a good match, and it was only on the pre-show, but they were going through tables. Torito and Hornswoggle were getting their spots in. It was fun. It was fun to watch. And it's just like they're treating El Torito as a joke. And that's what WWE has done with the midget wrestlers, the whole time that they've used them, going back all the way to the 80s. They could be used so much better. Look how they're used in Lucha Libre down in AAA, Lucha Underground. It's like, it can't use these guys better. It's just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and it's laughable. I laugh at how WWE books things.
Yeah, definitely. Forgot I mentioned Lucha Underground, but yeah, that's how they do it. You use them like almost like entertainment act. Like, okay, we got Torito, he could do all this stuff. Maybe he can entertain these people. What he can do. I mean, not just the wrestling ability, but him jumping up the ropes and all that stuff. That's what they want to show out there. But I feel you on that. I mean, it seems like at first it was going to be, or you can say, go back to the tag match. It seems like it was going to be a 4-way until one of the Usos injured their shoulder. It looks like he's going to be out. So it's going to become a triple threat tag team now. Looks like it's between Cesaro and Tyson Kidd going against the Matadors and the New Day. That's what that's where it's going for WrestleMania.
And it's funny that Tom brought up the Ascension, because other than Bo Dallas, the Ascension are the only team not book, or the only people, I should say, not booked for WrestleMania on the WWE roster.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. Speaking of Ascension, I think they had a match and they lost to the Lucha Dragons. So Lucha Dragons been on main event and Superstars as of late. Hopefully that shows that, you know, they're gonna come to the main roster pretty soon, probably after Mania, you know.
Yeah, but what would be the point? Look at what they did to the Ascension. They brought them up. They ruined what they were in NXT. You know, at least I wasn't the biggest fan of the Ascension. You know, I didn't think they were the greatest, you know, team since, you know, the Road Warriors or whatever the case may be. But I said, you know, they have potential. If you book them right and, you know, you use them properly and you build them up right, they have a chance to just be a tag team in there and help build up that division. But what did they do? They slapped face paint on them, slapped, you know, those stupid shoulder pads on them, and made them, you know, disrespecting all the old tag teams, which that could have gone somewhere. But it went nowhere because they just made them out from day one to look like complete jokes. And I look at the tag team match, and how can you not root for Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, even if you're a casual fan? Casual fans don't give a fuck about the New Day. Casual fans don't give a fuck about the Matadors. So how could you not root for Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, which are supposed to be the heel tag team? It's just, I laugh at it. I laugh at WWE's petty attempts.
Oh, by the way, we talked about highlights of the night. That highlight from the night for me is definitely Cesaro and Kidd, their little promo before that match.
No way. Yeah, and those little claps, that was great. Yeah, I mean, this should be an easy cakewalk. I mean, if fucking Cesaro and Tyson Kidd lose the tag belts to fucking either New Day or no Matadores, man, somebody got to slap someone in the face backstage. Seriously, this should be a match. No way the freaking Cesaro and Kidd should lose if this is the match you're going to for WrestleMania.
Now I have a question. If the New Day or Los Matadores win the belts, is the Freebird rule active?
Oh shit! Maybe next year's WrestleMania, when the highly rumored that Freebird's going to Hall of Fame. Speaking about Hall of Fame, tonight he just confirmed that the living legend Larry Zbyszko is going to the Hall of Fame. This is a name that I totally forgot to mention. The show we did a few months ago, that who deserves to go on the Hall of Fame show, and this is a name I totally forgot to mention. I mean, he deserves to be in there. I mean, he had a lot of history with Bruno Sammartino. To me, my opinion, his most success was in the AWA when he won the title twice out there. I mean, that's where he basically is. That's where his legendary career. Well, actually, when his career became legendary, was in the AWA. Then he went to WCW. Was already a big name out there. Then when he basically retired from the ring, he became a commentator, which I think he was good at, because he was one of those old school guys who didn't like how the NWO was running things. He will fight the NWO, and I enjoyed his commentary back in his day in WCW. Then when the WCW passed away, he had a little short brief in TNA, and that was pretty much it. He was not on the scene anymore. But he deserves to be in there. I'm happy for him to be there, and I'm glad to see him go in when he goes to the Hall of Fame during WrestleMania weekend. Tom, what's your thing? You think Zbyszko deserves to get in?
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt, without question. One of the biggest heels when it was the WWF back in the day. I mean, you hear stories about the day that he hit Bruno Sammartino with the chair, how people, they weren't rioting. They didn't get angry. They were just in shock. It was like when the Undertaker's streak was broken, it took a while for it to settle in. And right after that, you know, you hear about him causing riots at the snap of a finger. And you also hear about just his in-ring work. A lot of people have said that he was a great in-ring worker back in the AWA and the WWF. One of the best during that time period. So, without a doubt, he definitely deserves to go in. I think he's one of the, I don't want to say biggest names back in the 70s and 80s, but he would definitely be up there as one of the most recognizable names. So, no question, I think he deserves to go in.
Yeah, definitely. He's one class act. Matt, do you have a comment of Larry Zbyszko?
Very interesting choice for the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve it, but I feel like there's a lot of others that deserve it more than him. But nonetheless, still a great choice.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are some names deserve it more, but I can feel like he's in the right time. He's an old school guy. He's been retired more than a decade. To me, I feel like they're just choosing, okay, we should get somebody from who's been retired a decade. Let's get somebody who just got retired. Now let's get who's dead, That's how they do it. And which the female wrestlers deserve to be in this year. They make these kind of choices. And I like I said, Prize Ideen brought up his name in our Who Deserves to Be Hall of Fame episode we did. So he deserves it, former AWA champion. He should have had maybe a chance for the NWA title at the time when WCW and NWA were merged at one point. So, he's a great in-ring talent, pretty much. He's great in the ring, and man deserve it. So, like I said, I'm going to see him get in, and I'm happy for him to get in. And rumor has it that Bruno Sammartino is going to be the one inducting him. So what a good choice to have him inducted, And what tripped me out is that all these other names like Alundra Blaze, Macho Man, well, Macho Man's obvious, but the other ones he announced, they haven't announced who's going to be inducting who. And obviously his brother's going to induct Macho Man, but who's going to induct Alundra Blaze? Who's going to induct the Bushwhackers? Who's going to induct them? We just don't know. So that'll be interesting. Who will induct them? And Alundra Blaze, I have no idea who will do that. Especially what she did is during the women's title in the trash. Who will induct them? The person I can think of is Eric Bischoff, but who knows? I'm going to see what else happened in Raw. Intercontinental title still flipping around, but finally Wade Barrett got this belt back. It was a 6-man tag going on between Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, and Dolph Ziggler going against Wade Barrett, Luke Harper, and Stardust. While you had R-Truth doing commentating, Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, and Ambrose won. But then in the end, the Intercontinental was shuffling around, and I tweeted, it just seems like the Intercontinental is almost like the new Hardcore title. Instead of the belt going 24/7, not getting tossed around from the 24/7 rule, it's just like the Intercontinental is getting tossed around. People are chasing people after it, and then and in the end, Wade Barrett got it back. So I remember last week we were just talking about it, like, hey, we're just joking around. Toss the Intercontinental. Here you go. 1 week. Here you go, Tom. Here you go, Matt. What's you guys' thoughts now that Wade Barrett actually got it back? I'm going to start off with you, Tom.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really care. I think this whole build-up for this ladder match has been absolutely god-awful. I think this is the worst way to try and build up this title. It seems like WWE wants to build it up, but they don't know how to. They think, okay, maybe if we get some of the upper mid-card guys in there and put them in a ladder match, and then, they're stealing the title from week to week. Yeah, that would be good. No, it makes the title look like a prop. It doesn't make it look like it's prestigious. Like, it's ridiculous. It's laughable. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I know it's going to be a good match. All those guys can go out there and they can take bumps. They can do some crazy stuff with the ladder, but the build-up has been horrible. Even though it's going to be a good match, but it just, I don't care for it. I'm not invested in it. You know, would I want to see Daniel Bryan win the Intercontinental title? Not really. I'd rather see him in the main event scene if I could pick and choose. Obviously, WWE doesn't agree with a lot of our statements. And I think it's funny that during Roman Reigns' promo tonight, as he's talking to the hard camera, you just hear everyone chanting Daniel Bryan. You know, what does that say? But, you know, who cares? Let's just get on with it. Just get the match over with. That's how I feel at this point.
Matt, you have a comment with that?
I thought the segment was decent. I mean, I don't like what they've done with the title, throwing it around like you were talking about the hardcore title, but that was the way Barrett looked, delivering those bull hammers, how aggressive he was, and then, you know, the whole thing with R-Truth was just great. Yeah, not a fan of the build, though. I think the match is going to be great. I think the match is going to steal the show, but I wish they would have built this up better. I think it would have been a lot more of a big feel match.
Yeah, definitely. You know what's funny? About 10 years ago, I was at WrestleMania 21. I saw the first ever Money in the Bank match out there, and I almost feel like it's almost a repeat. Like 10 years later, this is the first time Intercontinental title match. Then like some kind of ladder match, similar like the Money in the Bank match. So I'm like, okay, deja vu there. You know, it's funny. The guy, it's funny. The guy who was at WrestleMania, won the title and all that, is going to be in this match. But 10 years ago, Chris Benoit won the world title, and he became in the Money in the Bank match. So it's like, you know, deja vu again. You know,
Yeah.
Benoit, Daniel Bryan, it's the same thing. You know.
I feel bad for Brie Bella.
Oh yeah.
But Tom brought up the Roman Reigns thing as well. I will say his new little catchphrase is kind of decent. At least they're giving him something to run with in that aspect.
I can't. Like Tom.
I disagree with you there. I fucking hate that they're throwing him this catchphrase now. It is so cheesy that they're trying to make this guy. They're making him try to feel like an underdog, but they're building him up like he's the best thing since sliced bread. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. You can't make him seem like he's a Daniel Bryan type underdog, but he's the most dominant, member of the Shield, and he's beating all these guys. You can't have it both ways. And as soon as he came out with that shirt on, I knew he was going to turn it into a catchphrase. I groaned at it. I think it's cheesy as hell. It does not add anything to his character trying to build him up. I think it's terrible. It's just another pathetic attempt at WWE to try to get this guy over. Let's stick a catchphrase on him. That'll work. All our great wrestlers throughout time have had catchphrases like The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena, all those guys. They've had catchphrases, so we'll give one to Roman Reigns, and that'll get him over. No, absolutely.
I think you can have both ways in this situation just because it's Brock Lesnar. I think you can make Roman Reigns look like the underdog and still have him look like the strongest member of the Shield at the same time as they're putting him. I mean, that's their words, not mine. But, I think you could have both in this situation only against Brock Lesnar. I don't think you can portray that any other way.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Matt there. Another thing about catchphrases, to me, when that can't thing doesn't get in my head. When I think Roman Reigns, I still think believe that. So the only way I can say you can't is to you, Tom. You can't go to PWG. You will never go to PWG. You will never, ever, ever get to PWG. Are you going to say you can't? I can't.
Absolutely not. I would be like, my quote would be, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to buy a fucking plane ticket and go out there. There you go. That's my catchphrase.
$800. There you go. I'm assuming it's going to be like $800.
Maybe it's better for me just to drive, take a road trip.
Oh, shit. Enjoy your 3 or 5 days?
Yeah, go maybe make it a road trip where I go and see some of the talent across the U.S. on the indie scene.
Yeah. Or try to win the lotto. Maybe you'll be ahead.
Yeah. And maybe that's my catchphrase. I'm going to win the lotto.
You're going to win the lotto.
Speaking of talent on the independent scene, I want to bring up some. Hello?
Oh, go ahead. Wait.
Speaking of talent on the independent scene, I wanted to bring up a couple of talents that have possibly been signed by the WWE quickly, if you guys wanted to get on that topic.
Go ahead. Yeah, let's get that real quickly.
All right. Apparently Jimmy Jacobs has been signed as creative in WWE, which we can get to that in a second. But my big thing, I wanted to give a shout-out to Jasmine for being signed by the WWE. I've seen her grow, and I'm happy that she's getting this big opportunity. I know she's going to make the best of it.
And she's good looking too. I mean,
that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I think when she gets into like NXT, she'll look more better than she looks now. So shout out.
And the best thing, she rocks our merchandise. So you should too. ProWrestlingTees.com. All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
Now,
Jimmy Jacobs. We'll talk about Jimmy Jacobs a little later, but the whole Randy Orton, Seth Rollins thing. I think in the beginning it was kind of cheesy. That's how it started off Raw, but when it led to the ending, it led to the man words, which is rumor had it that he was in the area because he got caught, or somebody took a picture of him coming out in the airplane. Sting. There was all this rumor that Sting was there, and then all of a sudden, in the end, he came out and saved Randy Orton from the Authority. He had the baseball bat out, and they were using him. They're all kicking the Authority's ass. Scorpion Death Drop on Jamie Noble, and it was Sting. He appeared and sticking in Triple H again, and it was a great moment. He had a huge pop. I tweeted this on the Wrestlingheads account. Sting is way over the WWE than he was in TNA. You guys agree?
That's very true. Absolutely. Another thing, very smart business move by WWE in this situation, have Sting's first promo on the WWE Network. One of the smartest things they have done.
Yeah. That made me go on the network and go, I got to check this out. Then, here's Sting coming out and say, we've been waiting for 14 years for this, and he finally gets it, and he's going to have his WrestleMania moment. So I'm happy the guy is going to get it. Dom, you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I thought the ending was definitely really good. One of the stronger endings we've seen in a while. It was cool to see Sting out there with Randy Orton fighting off against the Authority. Definitely cool to see. I definitely agree with Matt that them putting the promo on the network was such a smart move. I mean, they could have, scrapped some things on the show. They could have made the Divas match a little bit shorter to leave time for Sting to do a promo at the end of Raw. But just like Matt said, they put it on the network and they make people want to go and check it out. If you don't have the network, you want to sign up and see that. So definitely a smart move. So I enjoyed it. Even though, this Orton-Rollins feud, I think is okay. I think they'll have a good match. The build-up's been okay. And same thing with the Triple H thing. I think the build-up's been good. There's been some flaws here and there with it. But, and I don't expect that match, to steal the show or, be a 5-star classic. But it'll be interesting to see what Sting is like in the ring, because you look, going toward the end of his TNA run, he was not looking good at all. I mean, he could barely put in the Scorpion Deathlock. He could barely bend his knees to properly lock it in, and it was worrying. And then, he was always wrestling with his shirt on. He's been doing that for a few years now. So hopefully, I know there's been reports where he's lost some weight and he's gone in and done a lot of extensive training to kind of get back to where he once was. Maybe not, 1990s Sting, but early TNA where he could go out there and still have a good match. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah, definitely. The guy's been he looks in great shape. I mean, I guess they don't want him to fucking wear that T-shirt like he did in TNA. But he looks in shape. He looks like he can just take off his shirt and wrestle how we used to see him in WCW. You know, so
something I want to throw in here quickly. I think the reason why the build for Rollins and Orton hasn't been as well as it should have been is because I thought Jon Stewart was going to be involved in the feud. It seemed like WWE was teasing that towards the beginning of this feud, and then it seemed like maybe they didn't have things worked out with Stewart, or maybe, I don't know, maybe things didn't pan out, and they had to kind of quickly put together something else for Orton and Rollins.
All right.
Possibly. Now, I wanted to get on something, because maybe it's just me thinking like this. But next week, Snoop Dogg's going to be on Raw, and Bill Simmons is going to be on Raw. And I don't dislike either of those guys. I like a lot of Snoop's old music, and I enjoy Bill Simmons' write-up of different columns on ESPN.com and Grantland. But on the Go Home show before Mania, why are they on there? What is the point?
All right, Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg, he's going to get a loud pop. He's going to be here in L.A. Raw's going to be here in L.A. next week. But for Bill Simmons, I don't understand why. I think he's going to get booed. Reason why? Because he's a fucking hardcore Celtics fan. You're coming in the house with the Lakers build, all right? So I'm afraid this guy is going to get booed coming in that building, seriously, because Lakers, Celtics rivals, we still hate them, even though both teams suck right now, in the basketball world. But I don't think it's a good idea to have Simmons come into Raw, especially it's happening in the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Fortunately, I will not be at Raw, even though I live like, a 10-minute drive on the street to the Staples Center. I won't be there. But,
It's a good thing you didn't waste your money on that. But, no, seriously, the go-home show for WrestleMania, the granddaddy of them all, like they used to call it, and they won't call it anymore because, it makes it seem like WrestleMania is old. But anyways, the go-home show for your biggest show of the year, and you're putting two guest hosts on, like, that just throws off the whole pace of the show, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at, is why? Is it, I like to think of it as WWE's desperate attempt to try and gain viewers like they tried to do with Wiz Khalifa, but why? Why on your go-home show for WrestleMania? It makes zero sense. I think it's just WWE trying to get some, better ratings because Lord knows they could probably use it, but that's not going to help it. Why don't you book a proper Raw? Make me excited to watch Raw instead of boring me to tears week after week, and you have one or two good segments on the show. It's a 3-hour show. It's hard to sit through. Everybody complains that it's just hard as hell to sit through a 3-hour Raw.
Yeah, another thing on Raw, basically tonight's Raw, they just pretty build up WrestleMania a little bit more, and it just confirmed some matches. Like Rusev and John Cena, that match is confirmed. They had a signing with a guy. It was like he was trying to be Russian, but he sounded more Texan, by the way. That's Rusev's lawyer, which I'm talking about. And,
Love the words Lana chants. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
I know Matt saw the Wrestling is a Wrestling video. I know, Oscar, you haven't seen it, but all I can say is, can we replace Cena versus Rusev with Joey Ryan versus Johnny Mundo?
Oh,
that would be, if you watch the video, you'll get it. But I think that would be, that video, I think it was 24 minutes. That video was more entertaining than the last, a few years of Raw. I find that funny.
All right. Well, I'll check it out to look at the show. And also, I got one thing I want to mention. Your favorite rapper, LL Cool J, will be performing at WrestleMania, so I guess I'm going to see Cool J out there performing.
I am so sick of music performances at WrestleMania. Sorry to interrupt you, but man, ugh.
Yeah, I can see that. I hated it when Kid Rock did it. You know, I think back to WrestleMania 19 when
the only thing it's cool for is when they do like live entrances. You don't need to have somebody perform in the middle of the show. Like, are you trying to throw the fans off or something?
Yeah,
I remember
Bray Wyatt's live entrance last year was. I thought that was amazing. That was a great way to use a band at WrestleMania, and it made his entrance that much better.
Yeah, I remember they did that shit all at SummerSlam with fucker's name. I forgot that dude's name. White dude. Did that song for SummerSlam. Fuck his name again. Sorry, I don't even know. I don't listen to his music. I forgot his name. He did a performance at SummerSlam, and I just used the rest. Like, fuck it. I'm not gonna waste my time. Probably gonna do the same thing. I'm
fucking the guy who did Let It Rock. I can't even think of his name.
Let It Rock. Yeah.
Kevin Rudolph.
Kevin Rudolph, yeah. He came out, I was like, I gotta take a piss. Fuck this shit.
Didn't Machine Gun Kelly perform at WrestleMania sometime within the last couple of years?
Flo Rida performed at WrestleMania with his shirt off. Enough said.
Oh, God, I hate fucking Flo Rida. See, it's not even just musical guests performing on Raw and on WrestleMania. It's that a lot of them are shit. Maybe, because WWE has really gone from, being rock and roll and a lot of that hard rock and punk and all that, and slowly transitioning into rap and pop, which there are, there's good rappers out there. There's a couple of okay pop artists. But it's just like, that's not what invokes wrestling. When you think of wrestling, you think of, heavy metal music. You think of rock and roll. You don't think of, pop and rap.
Well, I could tell you this, though. I was at WrestleMania 21 when Motorhead performed when Triple H came out, so at least I enjoyed that. I'll tell you that right now. But
I'd rather see Motorhead perform every year.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't feel the need. Maybe it's the 4-hour shows. Like, are they trying to fill 4 hours? Is that the reason why they want a band to perform? Like, I just don't get it. You could use those time for the matches.
Well, all I gotta say is, Mama's gonna knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. That's all.
I'm gonna knock myself out because I'm not watching it.
Oh, please, somebody knock me out. For Christ's sake.
All right, I think I'm done with WWE talk. I think we should talk some Ring of Honor for the next 20 minutes about all these rumors with Ring of Honor going on. First of all, I want to talk about this rumor. I'm only hearing it from Twitter, but I'm not seeing any reports. But I don't know if you guys heard this rumor that ROH and Spike TV are talking right now.
Actually, it has been confirmed. The Spike TV president said that they've had a bit of meetings. They're trying to get to know each other, I think was his exact quote.
Okay. So it's been in talks with they've been talking with Ring of Honor then.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to comment about this. If Ring of Honor does go to Spike TV, doing what they're doing, oh my God, TNA, I feel bad for you because they'll put up a better product, and Ring of Honor's gonna make more money. That means possibly more exclusive contracts are coming, and less guys will be at PWG. So
you bring that up. And speaking of exclusive contracts, the Young Bucks apparently are about to sign an exclusive contract with Ring of Honor, but they don't want to have that clause in their contract to not work for PWG.
Yeah, I saw that, and my comment to that is that I feel like that's not fair in a way, like for other talent. Like, let's just say Ring of Honor gets the Young Bucks' wish. Like, okay, we'll let you work PWG, but you just can't work anywhere else, like FWE or CCW, whatever. Just only to Ring of Honor, New Japan, and PWG. Then what's that leave for, Adam Cole and Red Dragon, Michael Elgin? I mean, is that kind of like feel like it's not fair in a way? Like, okay, we can let the Young Bucks do PWG, but not them.
Maybe you have I think it makes perfect sense for this fact. PWG is a Young Bucks baby. They were recognized because of PWG when nobody else was booking them. That's how they got to TNA, because of PWG. Once they got out of TNA, nobody was booking them still. Nobody wanted to book them. The only company that was still booking them was PWG. They're very, very loyal to them because of the chances that PWG gave to them when nobody else would. Ring of Honor wasn't giving the Young Bucks chances. Ring of Honor wasn't looking to scoop up the Young Bucks and, try to capitalize them. And it's because of PWG. I truly believe that if, PWG didn't bring them back, they wouldn't be where they are right now. They wouldn't be the Young Bucks we know today.
My comment in this situation is, what if you have Ring of Honor have PWG's booking decisions go through their office? Then you got no, argument. You don't have stupid things happening like Elgin putting Trevor Lee over when he's champion with Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
It's also another thing that I think about is TNA did this a while back, I think, 2006, 2007, where a lot of guys were still on the indies and PWG, and then TNA signed them all to exclusive contracts. And they weren't allowed to work indies until either they got released or fired or whatever. And I also think about, there's people saying, WWE is raiding the indies and they're taking all this talent. And it's just like, Ring of Honor, I still consider them an independent company, even though they're getting much more successful. They're on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They still run pay-per-views. Are working with New Japan, the second biggest wrestling company in the world. They're still pretty much independent. But, and then they're taking their talent away from other indie promotions. So, in a way I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like they're doing what WWE is doing. Because they're getting so big, they have to keep these guys to exclusive contracts because they don't want them to get hurt anywhere else. And it's understandable. And at the same time, you can understand why WWE wants to scoop up all these guys. It's for business. I think a lot of people forget that wrestling is a business, and you have to make business decisions. So I think whatever happens, I would love to see Ring of Honor on Spike TV. Ton of talent on that roster, obviously, and they could get more guys in and bring them in on their weekly TV show. That would be something definitely cool to see. Like I said, I'm in favor for it. We'll just see how it goes. But I am a little bit hesitant because, when TNA was first on Spike TV, there was a lot of hype. TNA was at its prime. They had a lot of great talent there, too. People were raving about TNA. And look how fast they went downhill. Don't know if that could happen to Ring of Honor or not.
It's funny when you mentioned about all that. I was, you said that Ring of Honor, you consider it still an indie company. Well, if they sign a deal with Spike, I'm going to say, them calling an indie company, their days are numbered, because you do that, it means you're going to make more money. You're going to be making more money. And that means you got more guys.
Once they get on Spike TV, if they do, they're no longer an independent company.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be having guys like Tommaso Ciampa, Cedric Alexander, maybe in ACH if you go to WWE, or fucking, I don't know, BJ Whitner. You're going to be signing them exclusive contracts. I mean, you can't do the shows, PWG, AIW. I mean, those days are gone. And so that's why we're talking to Peter, possibly, if this Ring of Honor rumor is true, maybe they'll bring back PP Ray. You're gonna lose guys like Tommaso Ciampa, Cedric Alexander, ACH. They could be no longer in PWG if you sign up with Spike. So PWG better have a backup plan if that does happen. But that's just right now. It's just a rumor, But let's see what happens. But I would like to see him go on Spike. I mean, it's gonna be a great action. It's gonna be great. So and it's good for them because you're losing talent to WWE. See, the Briscoes could be heading to WWE now, you know. And then they just lost Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jacobs for creative out there. So you could possibly lose 3 guys already. Now you lost Jimmy Jacobs. Now you could lose the Briscoes. That's 3 talent. And one of the guys was your world champion. So you need to keep guys locked like Jay Lethal, who could be your world champion. But who knows if WWE's going to even sign him? What if they're talking to him in the summertime? You know?
Yeah.
And then
I was gonna say, I think if Ring of Honor is really serious about getting on Spike TV, they really need to build up that roster. Not that it's lacking right now, but if they get on TV, they need to build up that roster a lot more because there's only so much talent that you can just put out on TV. And look how fast WWE is scooping up guys. Look how fast. I mean, within a blink of an eye, Tommaso Ciampa could go to WWE. Within a blink of an eye, ACH could walk and go to the WWE. You know, I think even a guy like Michael Elgin, if WWE called up Michael Elgin and said, you know, we want to send you down to NXT for a little bit, we want to build you up as this big monster, he'll take it in a heartbeat. So Ring of Honor, if they're considering about doing this, build up their roster, get a lot of young guys. You need to get guys early 20s. You need to get a guy, I think, like Trevor Lee. I mean, we rave about the guy all the time, but he's, 21, 22 years old. He's not even close to the prime of his career yet, and he's already amazing. You know, guys like him, guys like Mike Bailey, get them while they're really young.
And what about Matt's boys, Monster Mafia? Bring him on, you know? Because it's like you don't know who you can be losing. You lose to Briscoe, they go to the tagging division. That means you're left with Red Dragon and who else? Brawling Burgers. You know what I'm saying?
And even they've broken up just recently. So I mean, Monster Mafia. We've seen Josh Alexander actually just return to Ring of Honor over the weekend, taking on Michael Elgin. So maybe we will see Ethan Page in the future. Although he's doing some work with Evolve, you don't really see Evolve guys in Ring of Honor. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, you see. So yeah, I agree with Tom. You got to start building up guys now. If you're planning to do something with Moose, you better start doing it. Or try to lock
what
him
about
up.
ACH, Cedric Alexander? I mean, those guys have been sitting there waiting for the opportunity. Like I keep referencing, Kevin Steen said Cedric Alexander's the future when he left, and what have they done with him since?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something with Cedric as well. ACH is interesting because, you know, his contract about to run up. Is he going to WWE? Who knows? He's been having tryouts. Maybe WWE has some interest with ACH. You know, he could be gone. He might be managed in the end of the year. Who knows?
And Michael Elgin's been very...
If I was Ring of Honor, if I was in charge there, I would do everything in my power to keep Jay Lethal as long as possible.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jay Lethal should be the guy of the company. He should be world champion. He should be the face of that company. I mean...
Couldn't agree more.
And Jay Lethal is still young. I think he's like 29, 28, 29. He's still young, but he feels like he's been around forever since he started real young in TNA. You need to keep that guy. So you throw as much money as he wants, you know, as possible.
And I feel like he could be that heel that, you know, their top heel. Like, say they lose Adam Cole to the WWE. Who's your top heel? It got to be Jay Lethal. So I feel like if you give him the world title, you can have him for a long time, even a year run. But you need to bring up that young guy up, and then you have him beat Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor title. So
Michael Elgin's been very outspoken about having Biff Busick and Trevor Lee on the roster as well. So I mean, I gotta throw that out there.
Yeah, and see, that's another name. Biff Busick was in talks with WWE just recently. So hopefully they can get him locked down or WWE. So Ring of Honor got to do something. So, and then I wish them luck. Hopefully they get on Spike, and I hope we get more information later on this week, because today's Monday. this week. The week is still young, so hopefully by our next show, which I believe is going to be on Thursday, we're doing, we'll get some more information. Maybe we'll say, okay, it's for sure, or it's locked, who knows. But anyways, we have a few minutes left on the show. I think it's time for us to give out our plugs, and I just want to thank, once again, Peter Avalon for joining us once again. I can't wait to see him Saturday. But anyways, give out my stuff. Please follow me at Sinister632 on Twitter and Instagram. Just follow me. I might pretty much follow you back. Follow Wrestlingheads on Twitter, Instagram. Especially on Instagram, we probably have some WrestleMania moments, so follow us on Instagram for sure, because you never know what we're going to do next weekend out there at WrestleMania weekend. So me and Skits could be taking pictures, videos. We're going to be in NXT, Evolve, Hall of Fame, the biggest show, WrestleMania. We'll be out there, so who knows? So check our Instagram out. Check out WrestlingHeads.com. All the news and blogs out there from Kiana and all the writers. Shout out to all of them. And that's I got. And just tune in Thursday. Who knows? Maybe we'll have somebody. Just follow us on Twitter, and we might have someone on out of the blue. So I'll pass that to Tom. Give all your plugs, man.
Yep. All you got to do is follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. Give me a follow. Make sure to follow you back. That's really my only social media account. I want to thank also Peter Avalon for coming on tonight. Another great conversation. Look forward to having him back in the future. And as we announced on Friday and we announced on Twitter, I want to once again welcome Four Corners Radio into the Elite Podcast Network family. Very excited about getting them in here and looking forward to seeing what they're going to be bringing to the table, because it's going to be great.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to the guys at 4CR. Shout out to everybody, Eyes of the Ring, and all these other shows. Just shout them up. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and Mr. Matt right here, Weekly Wrestling Podcast, he's right here. So, might as well, you can give out your plugs, man.
Yeah, check out the Elite Podcast Network right here. I wanted to throw a shout out to Smash Wrestling for a very great show yesterday. Any Given Sunday 3 was just amazing. I highly suggest you check it out. And they actually just announced Smash on Demand. Basically, I kind of deal like the WWE Network, $7.49 a month, and you get anything and everything Smash releases on that network. So definitely check it out. I believe it's ondemand.smash-wrestling.com. So I highly suggest checking that out and giving it a shot. And I'll give away a little freebie here. You use the code AGS3 and you can get it free for a week.
All right.
Also, one more quick plug. You can follow us at Weekly W Podcast and check out our interviews on YouTube and check out all the stuff right here on the network. That's pretty much it for me.
All right. Everybody's listening. Check us out on Thursday. That's be our next show, and then then me and Skips will be on the road to WrestleMania next week. We'll keep an update on that. And anybody from LA listening, this Friday night, go to the Wrestling Guy store. Chavo Guerrero and his dad will be there signing autographs, taking pictures. Go on to Huntington Park, California. Check it out there. My good friend David, he owns a store there. He's bringing Chavo and Chavo Classic there. So check it out there if you live in the LA area. Follow at Wrestling Guy HD for info like prices and all that stuff. So, just check him out, and maybe you can meet Chavo and his dad, Chavo Classic. And I'll be there Friday. I'm cool with Chavo, so, I'll get to see him again. And I guess till Thursday, we are out. Thanks.